I recently had my commercial pilot check ride, and these are the questions the DP asked me. And if you found this helpful, follow. I'm going to be releasing content every single week helping you become a pilot. So these are the questions that I remember being asked. Every single question was based around the scenario the DPE gave me, which was just a typical cross country where I was flying for hire. I was flying 2 people. I filled out a navlog and a weight and balance for this. And I was also asked to go into depth about how I got these different calculations and why weight and balance is so important. All right, let's just jump right into it. I have everything here on my iPad, so I'm just going to start reading these questions I wrote down. What privileges and limitations apply to a commercial pilot? What is the definition of common carriage? What is holding out and how does it apply to commercial pilots? Are there any exceptions to fly for hire without an AOC? What are the eligibility requirements for a commercial pilot certificate? What medical do you need to exercise your commercial cert? What documents must be on board the aircraft? What inspections are required for your aircraft when flying for hire? How does load factor affect your flying? What is the relationship between stall speed and load factor? What is VG and when should it be used? How can you determine your glide distance at a certain altitude? How do weight and balance impact the aircraft performance? Tell me the different types of parasite drag. What are the different left turning tendencies and how does that affect your flight? Why would you use VX over VY? What types of fog require wind? What are some dangers when flying into convective activity? I was then asked to decode a METAR and a TAF, talk about a microburst and why that's dangerous. What do you need for a thunderstorm to form? How does icing impact the aircraft performance? What is the recommended distance to stay away from a thunderstorm and why? What are the different types of icing? Which one's the most dangerous and where are they most likely to form? What do you need for icing to form? What type of de-icing or anti-icing equipment do we have? Can we fly into known icing conditions? Again, a lot of these were built into the scenario I had. For instance, weight and balance. Why did I pick this amount of fuel? What happens if I have forward CG, aft CG? What are the benefits of having aft CG? I was then asked to go into in-op equipment. What happens if a landing light is out? That was pretty easy. I've gone over this before. Went through the A-tapered checklist and broke it down. What do you need to sign if you do preventative maintenance? When it came to weather, I had to brief my whole flight. So I went into flight, went through the weather briefing and went through every single page and was asked about every single page. As a commercial pilot, you should know what everything means. There isn't something in your weather briefing that you shouldn't know. When it came to airplane systems, I was asked point-blank questions about every single system. For example, how many batteries do you have? How many amps is the alternator? What type of oil do we use? How many quarts does the oil sump hold? What type of landing gear do we have? Do we have hydraulics in the airplane? What happens if we have electric failure inside the aircraft? What happens if the airplane is put into a spin? What's the pitot system? How does that work? What are some likely failures that come with that? This DPE that I went with is known to be tough. She's known to go really in depth about everything and she really tests your knowledge. So I was pretty proud of myself for getting through this and I realized I knew more than I really gave myself credit for. Those are the questions that I really remember being asked about. It seems like there wasn't anything that I wasn't asked about, if that makes sense. If you found this helpful, follow and thanks for watching.